Do 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 do. Oh, hey! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Harry Wolf, and around these parts, I talk about the world of front end, JavaScript, UI, CSS, all those fun things. Today's episode, I'm going to delve into a topic that is one that came up recently in my day-to-day life. And it's not a new topic, it's one that I've talked about off and on to friends in real life, not on YouTube. And it's one that I thought would benefit me sharing my experiences with the YouTube audience at large. I was at a meetup this past week, and I had some people come up and ask me about their job search that they're embarking on. They just started a boot camp, they're going out into the job market, and they're trying to find their first front-end tech job. And I love these conversations because I hope and I think that I have good advice to share with it. At least they said they appreciated my advice. If you were there and you've heard it before, let me know in the comments. So I want to kind of talk about what it means to find either your first tech job or your fifth tech job in the industry that is tech. So if you were to come up to me and say, hey, I'm looking for a job, what advice do you have to tell me? The first thing I always say, without hesitation, is that finding a job sucks. It is one of the most demoralizing, stressful, depressing things that you can embark on in your life. It is horrible. It's terrible. And I think just owning that and being aware that it is painful for everyone, I think there's comfort in that companionship. I'm not going to try to pretend and say that finding a tech job is easy. Oh, you're doing it wrong. This should be fine. No, it is so effing hard. To put it in perspective, I'm on my fifth job in my career over 10 years. And my current job I've been at for 3 years. But when I was interviewing to move to my current job, I've been in the industry for 7 years. So 7 years of experience as senior engineer, whatever the heck that means to anyone. And it took me 4 months to find my new job. And that's with 7 years experience. Granted, I could make, arguments that I was being picky or I wasn't doing, doesn't matter what it was. It took me 4 months to find the job that I'm at now. And it was so stressful and so exhausting. So I think the first thing that you should remember if you're looking for that job, whether it's your first or your last, it's hard. It sucks. But you have to keep going. Which brings me to the second point, which is you have to apply to as many jobs as you can. It is absolutely a numbers game. The more job listings that you apply to, the more chances that you can actually be told yes. Yes, of course you're going to hear more no's than yeses, but all you need is that one yes for there to be a match. Try to put a rule for yourself to be diligent and apply to at least 2 to 4 jobs a day or whatever is healthy for you. But the more jobs you apply to, the more chance you have that one will say yes. Finding a job is a little bit like dating, where the interview itself is like speed dating, where you're trying to rapidly get to know each other in this very artificial constraint. Interviews is a whole different topic I'm not going to get into right now because it deserves its own novel of things. Just like dating, a job, you want to find a match both for yourself and the company. Both the company and yourself are trying to find a match where both are happy with each other. In the beginning, you can't be as picky as a company. You're going to kind of, the company gets to have more decisions in that relationship than you will. But as you get further along in your career, you can kind of meet the companies halfway to make sure that you have both the things that you're looking for. And it's hard to find that match. It's hard to find a partner of any sorts. Dating is hard too. So to make that analogy, I think is a very fair one, because finding a job is very much like dating, and you're trying to find that special match where both are happy and want to commit to each other. And one of the unfortunate things about looking for a job is that it takes both skill. Do you have what it takes for that job? It takes perseverance, applying to as many as you can. And then sadly, but in reality, it takes luck. There's that certain nebulous element of finding a job that you can't really put a description to. That is just both good timing, right place, right time, saying the right, catching. Because when you're going on an interview at a company, if you get past the resume stage, they do a phone screen, you go on site. There's so many factors that go into play that determine whether you will ultimately be hired. Is the interviewing good? Is the interviewer good? Just because they're interviewing you doesn't mean that they are good at interviewing. Interviewing is also, I already said that, it's a whole other, I said it over there, it's a whole other topic. But you might have somebody who is not good at interviewing, and that might just skew the entire interview process. You might have somebody who's having a bad day, and you might be the most cheerful person that morning because you're trying to make a good impression, and they'll leave the room and say, bah humbug, that person is too nice and happy. Which is a weird thing to critique someone about, and probably a warning sign that you wouldn't want to work there. And then another hidden factor of it all is it really depends upon how picky the team is at large. Like if a new job opening opens on a team, when they're first looking for that person to hire, they're going to be the most picky as they can be. They have the most energy, the most stamina, they're ready to just go through as many candidates as possible. And if you're one of those first couple of people to apply for that position, you're kind of at a disadvantage because the team might not know what they're looking for, might not be calibrated, might not be as forgiving, which you kind of have to be at some times. Whereas if you apply to a position that's been open for 3 months, by that time the team's probably tired, they just want to find somebody, and kind of the line of quality you have to cross becomes lower. And it's just timing. You can't control that. That's just luck. There's no way. You can't ask a recruiter saying, hey, how tired is the team? Or I guess you could ask, how long has the position been open, which might give you an indicator. But again, there's no real direct correlation between those two things. So that's why I say, no matter how far along you are in your career, finding a job is the pits. You have to just keep trudging through that torrential downpour of rain. Your shirt might be soaked, your pants might be soggy, your shoes might be just mud, but you have to keep going if you're committed to finding a job. I think the biggest advice, the biggest help I can give is just to agree that the process is horrible. And what's weird is that when you do find a job, at least in my experiences, when you do find that job, when you do find that match, it's almost effortless. It's almost as if you didn't apply or interview at all, and you're amazed at how much harder all the failures were. There's this weird kind of like eureka moment of serendipity that just says, wow, this was meant to be. And also, a thing that I personally hold true is like when you don't get a job that you really, really want, I'm a big believer in things are meant to be because they are, which is both illogical and nonsense, but also very comforting to myself. If I didn't get that job because it was raining and it was cold outside, so it was really hot inside, so I sweated too much or something like that, and I didn't get the job because of that, it was meant to be. It was the universe's way of telling me that that place was not for me to work at. It makes me feel a little bit more calmer about my failure and to take some of the blame and weight off of me. So in summary, finding a job sucks. I'm so sorry if you are going through it right now. Right now is probably the best times to apply for a job is in the beginning of the year, January and so on. That's when new headcounts are established, when new budgets are established, when teams actually find out they have money to afford a new hire. The end of the year gets harder, November, December, because people are going on vacation. They've already done all the hires they wanted to do. It's a timing game and it's luck. But persevere, and hopefully you'll find that first job or your third job or your sixth job. It doesn't really seem to get easier. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was of some comfort and help. My name is Harry Wolf. Videos new weekly. I have a newsletter where I talk about tech news that you can subscribe to in my description. I have a Patreon for you to financially support this channel. And I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all those networks that I never post on anymore because I spend all my time making these videos for you, my friends. Just for you. I will see you again next week with a new one.